Money problems don't always come from low income. Sometimes they come from something much more invisible, something people rarely notice until it is too late. Lifestyle. The slow habit of increasing your spending each time your income increases until you are earning more but still feeling broke. That is the trap that caught Victor. Victor was ambitious, hardworking, and full of dreams. He wasn't the type to waste his life. He wanted success, he wanted comfort, and he wanted to prove to himself and everyone around him that he was moving forward. When he finally got a better-paying job, he felt like his life was about to change. At first, it did change. His salary doubled, and he was excited. He told himself, "Now I can breathe." The first month, he moved from his small apartment to a nicer place. It wasn't a mansion, just something more comfortable, something that felt like progress. Then he bought a better phone because he felt his old one didn't match his new level. Then he started eating at nicer restaurants because he was tired of struggling. The spending didn't feel foolish. It felt deserved. After all, he worked hard. Why shouldn't he enjoy the rewards? What once felt like luxury started to feel like necessity. He wasn't spending to impress others at first. He was spending because comfort is addictive. The more he earned, the more his life expanded. New clothes, more outings, more subscriptions, more convenience. And the strange thing was, even though his salary was bigger, the money still disappeared before the month ended. Victor began to feel confused. He was earning more than he ever had, yet the anxiety was still there. Bills still piled up. Savings were still almost nothing. He couldn't understand why more money wasn't creating more freedom. He thought the solution was simple. I need an even higher salary, so he pushed harder, worked overtime, chased promotions, and eventually he got another raise. This time, he promised himself it would be different. He would save more. He would be smarter. But the moment the raise came, lifestyle followed again. He upgraded his car. He started taking short trips because he felt he had earned it. He began giving expensive gifts because he wanted to look generous. Without meaning to, he was spending tomorrow's freedom to buy today's comfort. And once again, the month ended with him wondering where the money went. One evening, Victor met his cousin Samuel at a family gathering. Samuel was not loud, not flashy, and not the kind of person who showed off, yet Victor noticed something about him. Samuel always seemed calm. He never looked stressed about money. He wasn't living a luxurious life, but he had peace, and that peace made Victor curious. Later that night, Victor asked him quietly, "Samuel, how do you always seem so stable? Don't you ever feel financial pressure?" Samuel smiled and said, "I used to. Until I learned one thing." Victor leaned closer. "What?" Samuel answered simply, "Just because you earn more doesn't mean you should spend more." Victor laughed a little. "But isn't that the point of earning more? To live better?" Samuel nodded. "Yes, but living better is not the same as spending bigger. Freedom is living better. Peace is living better. Control is living better. Lifestyle inflation destroys those things." Victor frowned. Samuel continued. "Most people think the goal is to increase income, and that's good. But the real goal is to increase the gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap is where wealth is built." Victor went quiet. Samuel was saying something Victor had never thought about. Samuel explained that many people stay broke at every level because their spending rises to meet their income. They don't become wealthier, they just become more expensive to maintain. That night, Victor could not stop thinking. The next morning, he sat down and looked at his finances honestly. He realized something painful. His rent was higher, his car payments were higher, his lifestyle costs were higher, and he was saving almost nothing. He wasn't truly richer, he was just living a more costly version of the same financial stress. He finally understood the trap. He wasn't building wealth, he was building bills. Victor decided something had to change, not his salary this time, but his behavior. He started with one simple step. He created a rule for himself. Every time his income increases, his savings must increase first, not his lifestyle. Before buying anything new, before upgrading anything, he would pay his future first. He opened a separate account and named it Freedom. He began sending a portion of his income there immediately, as if it was a bill he owed his future self. At first, it felt uncomfortable. He had to say no to certain outings. He had to stop upgrading things just because he could. He had to learn to enjoy life without constantly expanding it. Friends teased him sometimes. "Victor, you have money now. Why are you acting like you don't?" But Victor knew the truth. Acting rich keeps you broke. Acting disciplined makes you free. As months passed, the gap began to grow. For the first time, Victor saw savings build up. He saw options opening. Emergencies no longer felt like disasters. He began investing slowly, not chasing quick profits, but building long-term stability. He realized that wealth is quiet. Wealth is not loud spending, it is silent security. Victor also learned to define success differently. Success was no longer about looking upgraded, it was about being unshaken. It was about having money left over, having choices, having peace. He understood that the person who looks rich may be drowning, while the person who looks simple may be free. Years later, Victor still earned well, but his life was no longer expanding wildly with every raise. His lifestyle grew slowly, intentionally, and only after his savings and investments were handled. He built a future instead of just buying comfort. And one day, he realized the truth that changed everything. The biggest financial mistake is not earning too little, it is spending everything you earn, no matter how much it is. If you are listening to this right now, remember Victor's story. More income will not fix your life if more spending follows it. The real wealth is in the gap. Protect it, grow it. Use raises to build freedom, not to build bigger bills. Money is a tool, and the goal is not to look successful, but to live free. Your support encourages us to create more content, so if this story gave you value, please like, share, and stay with us for more financial lessons that can truly change lives.